Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of DV Live City Talk. I am Amanda Acom, the marketing coordinator at Desert Valleys Federal Credit Union. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a conversation. And be sure to share this video so everyone else can join in and see us talk about coffee. Hello, Rebecca.
Hello.
So can you tell us who you are, what you do, and how you like your coffee?
So my name's Rebecca McCourt. I am the executive director at the Ridgecrest Chamber of Commerce, which basically means that I run the Chamber of Commerce. And then
so you do all the things.
All the things with
around all the places.
we have with the office manager and the board of directors. But yeah, and then I take my coffee black.
Yeah, same. So for everyone watching, we were kind of joking around at the beginning and talking about fun facts and all that. But then we started talking about coffee, and we all know I prefer coffee over everything except my dog. I know. I love my dog. I love my dog. Like my poor husband, we were out of town this weekend and got stuck because of the snow. And so we ended up staying the night down in Simi Valley. And I was like, but what about our dog? Like, he's going to not wonder where we're at. And he's like, he's fine. He's taken care of. He's with someone. Oh. And I'm like, but he's not with me. Like, there's a difference.
What kind of dog?
He is an American Staffy, so a pit bull.
Okay.
His name's Rip. He definitely is a big teddy bear. So we got home. He had his little stuffy in his mouth. Aww. He was all sad and shaking. And instead of getting in the back seat of the truck, he literally jumped in the front seat and sat in my lap the entire way home. He's 65 pounds of pure scared dog.
Yeah. Yeah, he needed his mom.
He did. So, we don't need to talk about snow or hail or rain for a very long time, or wind. But we're going to talk about the Economic Outlook Conference.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So we just had Thursday. Was it Thursday?
It was last Thursday. Yeah.
It was last Thursday.
36th Economic Outlook Conference.
And I will say, I was very impressed with being at the new venue.
Yeah.
So how did you feel going into, Joshua Hall at the fairgrounds versus Kerr-McGee?
Well, it was a decision we made just because we knew that Kerr-McGee was going to be having renovations. And when we were making the initial plans, we didn't have a firm timeline on that. And we didn't want to have to do a last minute change. So that was what initiated the decision to move it over to the fairgrounds. And then our light and audio people, MC Squared, they have a stage that I believe the RACVB purchased. And so they're that's set up there semi-permanently. It can be moved, but
really?
Yeah, because it's the one that was actually used for the Night on Balsam. It's the same stage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a beast to move. So
I was going to say, I'm kind of thinking, how does it move?
Yeah.
How does it break down?
Yeah, it does. I can't tell you how it breaks down. I have no idea, but it can happen. Anyway, so they were very excited about us doing it out at Joshua Hall, and it made sense. And that's what we did. And I think people's reactions coming in, because nobody has been in the venue since it has been the floors were just redone.
Yeah.
And they put a bunch of soundproofing up on the walls. And
it was very elegant looking, as weird as that is to say about our fairgrounds. I'm so sorry, Chip. But it was very different. It was a major transformation.
Right. And so, yes, that was the reaction I think that most people had coming in, as they were just kind of surprised at the transformation and what the hall looked like, because they've never seen it like that before. So,
and I liked how all the different the business expo was set up. It just felt not as expansive, I guess, as Kerr-McGee.
Okay,
maybe. I don't know the exact. We were all closer, and it felt more cozy in a way.
It's a slightly smaller footprint for sure, and then the layout of the room is different, right? You're more length than width, I guess. So it's a different layout for sure, and I generally had positive responses in person. We'll see, as time goes on, what people think. And
Now, the survey is still available?
yes, so we do have a survey available on the website. It's ridgecrestchamber.com and then /EOC for Economic Outlook Conference -survey. But if you can't find it, you can call us or reach out and we can
I'll make sure
connect you with
to
it. But
get that link and put it in the notes as well.
Yeah, and
So.
it's just kind of a feedback for everything and anything relating to the conference.
Now, for anyone not watching who has no idea what this acronym means, how would you describe the Economic Outlook Conference to someone who's never attended?
Okay, so it's a conference. Oh no,
I know,
using the
dun.
word like in the definition. No, so we have a program. Basically, the idea is to give a status update of our local economy. So anybody who's tried to do research about our local economy, it is sometimes difficult to find information specific to Ridgecrest. You get a lot of Kern County information. You get a lot of state of California information. But specific information for Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley, it's the Indian Wells Valley Economic Outlook Conference.
It's a mouthful. That's a lot of acronyms, too, if you
so
think
many
about
letters. Is so give the idea of that. So we try to have major industries present, and then we always bring in a keynote speaker who kind of talks
And
about
it's a
the
keynote
current,
from our county?
It depends. We've had different ones in the past, and then also part of what they're supposed to do is provide a forecast, which as the keynote that we had this year, Dr. Hegde he is from California State University, Bakersfield, economics department. But as he very accurately stated, is economics forecast is just about as accurate usually as the weather forecast. Like it is one of my, so full disclosure, my bachelor's is in economics. So I
Really?
Yeah.
Why don't we have you speaking?
Because I'm not in academia. But anyway, an economist can tell you why what they predicted yesterday. Wait, how does it go? Crap, I just screwed that up. An economist can tell you why what they predicted yesterday isn't correct today. So they'll make a forecast and then they'll be like, whoa, it didn't come out because of this. And so the forecast is more just to make people aware of
Trends
potential things. Because
I think this year is going to be up in the air for everybody, though.
it is for sure. And one of the biggest drivers of the economy is perception. And so you can only control perception to a certain amount.
Yeah, you can't really say, hey, here it is in concrete and stone and go from there.
But I don't know. So it was interesting. It was the first year that Dr. Hegde has presented. It was actually his first time in Ridgecrest.
Really?
Yeah. But he already told me he's excited to come back in the spring and he wants to tour the China Lake Museum and do some different things. So
it was the first time I'd seen him because the last 2 years it was the same keynote speaker.
Yeah, we had a different keynote, I think actually the last 3 years. And he was from the Santa Barbara area. So, we were just doing something different. We were all about doing things differently this year, apparently. So,
hey, I think it worked out. And like you said, it's hard to gauge economic forecasts or outlooks, any sort of trend for this area.
Right.
And with the expansion on base and families coming in, I think that's kind of helpful to have the information readily available.
Exactly.
So, and that was one thing that now that I've gone to the EOC and starting to listen and learn, I know I sometimes pay attention if I've had enough coffee. That's one thing that I learned is that it's not just about one specific area here.
Right.
When people sometimes think of that, they think, oh, it's going to be all talking about the base. Nope. No.
Yeah. No, it's, we do have representatives from the base come and speak. And, and even that, it's such a conglomerate there. I mean, we had 3 different people because we have, the installation, we have the construction right now, and then we have the tenant command, which is the major employer, NOC-WD. So, and even those 3 separate entities have different impacts and interactions with the economy. So again, it's sometimes it's people are like, oh, it's the same information over and over, but like it really does change, and especially with the earthquake recovery and the rebuild, and as things are progressing there, like that's going to continue to impact our local economy differently as the contractors come through and move along and the projects finish and the new laboratories are available, and there's just going to continue to be a dynamic change of the business that is being done out on the base. So, and that does affect our local economy.
It was also interesting to hear Joey Dawson's report for the realtors. I was like, and I will admit it was a little bit death by PowerPoint, but it was actually very informational, which like both sides of my brains enjoyed all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think having he just became the president of the Ridgecrest Area Association of Realtors, and he's very knowledgeable in what he does. So it was good to have that perspective.
And I may be wrong, but doesn't he have did they open their own realty association?
Real estate office.
Real estate office?
Dozen Real Estate.
Okay.
So, yep, that is a new real estate office in town, yes.
Okay. And then I think the only person I'm looking right now at the list or of everyone was Supervisor Peters couldn't make it over due to the snow.
Yep. No, and we had, so we actually had quite a few people who weren't able to attend, but Supervisor Peters they tried, and then even Thursday morning I got a message that 58 was still closed and 178 required change. So fortunately, our keynote had the foresight to come early enough that we weren't stuck with him without him presenting. We had quite a few last minute. Our visual.
It just makes me think of
on it because I kept changing things on them up until the last minute.
It makes me think of Ross from Friends when he's yelling pivot.
Oh, yeah.
You just got to change with it.
Yeah. So it, and we were supposed to have somebody from the Kern Community College District come over, and then they had a change in their plans. So Dr. Hancock was able to kind of fill in last minute on theirs, and everybody was very flexible. It was great. And I don't think if we didn't say anything I don't think people would have really known. I think it went well. Yeah, it was very fun. I really enjoyed having Travis Reed as the MC this year with his little chicken joke that I was back there dying and everyone else was like crickets. And I'm like, okay, I'm easily amused. Yes. Yeah. It was awesome that he was willing to step in and do that role. I think it was good to get him also in front of the community in a slightly different role than he usually is. And
you mean his millions of name tags? I always joke with him that's a conference name tag and you never know who you're going to get that day. And I think the chamber and the city have been, continuing to move the community forward as we can. And I think that having that partnership was a good. Yes, because it was, I think the first time I've always noticed in the back of my mind, maybe I have some, behind the scenes knowledge too, but A Night on Balsam was fantastic for that. And there's more events coming.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That was the first night on Balsam. So there will be future nights on Balsam. Stay tuned. No.
And no, I think that was a great time. It was fun. It was, I don't know, perfect weather. It was great for me and my husband to get out and about. So I had a fun time. I definitely enjoyed food. We all know that too.
Yeah. No, and that was another thing that, people responded to the survey and things like that. And there's been a lot of feedback because, everybody in attendance knows that there were shortcomings, but we also know that there was a really good starting point. And so,
I feel like there was a ton of people in attendance too. It was for February night. I was like, wow, look at all these people braving it. The weather was definitely
favorable, which that impacted the fact that there were so many people.
I know.
It could have gone a different way.
Well, you guys did great, and I look forward to the rest of them. And another exciting upcoming event that we're going to talk about, I'm going to throw it out there. Follies is coming up.
Follies is coming in 2 months, so April 28th and 29th. Tickets will be on sale very soon, so look out for that. And
on the website or the office?
Chamber office, yeah. So you
Okay.
have to contact, or if you know somebody who's in Follies, they will have tickets available to sell as well. So you can either contact a cast member or the chamber office. So
I'm very excited to not be a cast member this year. Still running that. A couple people, they were like, oh, you'd be perfect. And I was like, I don't want to get up there.
it's a big time commitment for the cast members too. So it's, something that people have to take seriously, and if they want to participate.
People have to take Follies seriously?
Okay, seriously isn't the right word. You have to be willing to commit some time. At least if you want to do a good job, I think. You have to be willing to commit a little bit of time.
How do people join the cast of Follies? Is it like an invite only? I feel like it's like the secret society where
I don't know that I have the insight. I don't. Shoot, was I not supposed to talk about it? Oh no, I'm gonna get Fight Club now. No, it is basically
is it
so we have Janice is amazing, and it is her thing, and she is.
I feel like there's gonna be a van that pulls up right now and like puts cloaks over our heads and like takes us away.
And so I guess if you are interested, you can always voice that, but it doesn't mean like you're definitely going to get to do it. But anybody can come and attend and enjoy and partake in the shenanigans in the audience. So,
and that will be at the fairgrounds?
Yep, it's going to be in Joshua Hall as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Another venue change,
but that'll be exciting.
Getting to use the good stage. Because from what I heard, I guess one of the stages in the past was questionable in its integrity. So you can use the stage that is not falling apart.
I mean, that would go along with the show, I think, maybe a little bit. Paramedics on scene. So I think as we start wrapping up, any other upcoming events or important dates?
We do have our installation in June, which that's another event where we install the incoming board members, and then we also present scholarships to those who applied to and were awarded scholarships.
Okay.
And
where will that be held?
I don't have a location on that
Okay.
yet, and I don't even know the date, but it's in June.
June?
Mid-June.
Okay.
And then, and other than that, we continue to have our electronic sign on China Lake and Bowman, and that we're doing now. You can wish people like a happy birthday, or
I saw one of those the
happy
other day, and I
anniversary.
loved it.
Graduation's going to be a really hot time. I already have a couple people who have booked slots around graduation time because we're limited on. We can really only do one a day because of our other slots that are on there. So yeah, if people have something coming up, and just $25 for the day, and it's
Really?
get to give a shout out to those special people in your life. So let us know if anybody wants to do that.
That is fun. Okay.
So
That just made me think of my nephew who is graduating this year, who's probably not watching this show. So I might get to surprise him.
There you go.
I know, I'll probably embarrass him every time.
It's kind of the aunt's job though to
I know, all the time.
right?
I hope so. And then luncheon's still going on?
Yep, second Tuesday of every month. So next one's March 14th.
Okay.
These are at the historic USO building. And we're going to start coffee clubs probably next month. We were originally going to do
What's a coffee club?
Coffee club. Oh, see, we were talking about coffee clubs are usually the first Thursday of the month, and it's just kind of a less formal networking opportunity.
Okay.
We just do them at the chamber office. We have coffee.
Huh.
Yeah, and usually some little goodies, and it's just a less formal networking time because the luncheons are so structured and we have an agenda, and this is just more time to come and
What
connect
time
with
is
people.
that at?
So it's 7:30 to 9, and so first one we'll do we don't do them when it's really cold because we do them out front, in
in your patio
area.
Okay.
And so we're not going to do one in March because it's still really cold, and I'm also still slightly recovering from the EOC. And so April will be our one that we'll resume, and then we'll do them.
Ooh, I'm interested in
Okay,
that.
well,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for coming on today and chit-chatting. I'm sure I'll have you back on for Follies or maybe Janice. Janice, I'm coming for you.
Yeah. There, see? She would be able to be the one that could speak more intelligently to Follies, not accidentally call it serious.
I know. I was like, that's serious. What? Well, thank you again for being on. And everyone, thank you for watching. Make sure you head on over to the City of Ridgecrest's YouTube page and you see this evening's council meeting. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.